Welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. I'd love to wish everyone a pleasant Tuesday. I hope everyone's well. This is the case of the Idaho 4. Nothing is facts here, since everything is on gag order. There's a lot of speculations and rumors and a bit of facts in this case. Today I'd like to focus on one of the main persons in this case, and that would definitely be John Jack Showalter Jr., or should I say John Jack Rogers Showalter Jr. from Boise, Idaho, aka Hoodie Guy. Hoodie Guy was very popular in the beginning of this case, and there was a reason for that. He was one of the last people to see Maddie and Kaylee alive. He was actually the last person we saw Maddie and Kaylee with. He passed a threat. Although we couldn't hear it clearly, it sounded like, "We're going to get you for that, Maddie." And that is when Kaylee says, "Maddie, what did you tell Adam?" And Maddie said, "I told Adam everything." So whatever was said to Adam could have got these 4 victims unalived. Because what I'm doing is I'm looking at the timelines. All this is happening. Hoodie Guy, or actually let me call him John. John has white gloves on and a white hoodie and a brown jacket, like he'll see. What is interesting is there's a couple of people dressed up like John. And I'm starting to wonder if they all had some kind of codes. Many of them are wearing white shoes, white hoodies, and brown jackets. He was quite upset when the girls left. He saw Maddie saying, "F you, mister," either to him or to Joe Vito. The question is why? We do understand these are young college students who are intoxicated, but once a quadruple happens after that, everybody has to be looked into. Not only BK, I've heard most of these people gave their statements, the police statements, over the phone. Now, have you ever heard of a quadruple that happened, which is seldom, mass murders happening, and people are allowed to go home? I mean, people are literally allowed to go for Thanksgiving. How does this happen? There's an active crime scene going on for 4 students, and Mr. John Showalter drove to Boise, Idaho. I find that interesting. He allegedly went to his parents' cabin that is 5.5 hours away. That is his alibi. Let's look a bit into John. I personally believe John Rogers Showalter is involved. In my opinion, in my humble opinion. To start with, he's carrying something in his jacket. He has a cut on his eye. When you zoom in, you will see that. Let's not forget, he just came from the corner club. It's been said on Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, all the social medias from the beginning that there was 2 college girls who were at the corner club. And they witnessed Showalter being thrown out. He allegedly got thrown out because he was harassing Kaylee. Let's not forget, it was said that Kaylee had a stalker. Keep that in mind. I'm not saying the stalker is Showalter, but I'm saying, what a coincidence. The man gets thrown out, waits outside for the girls to come, and starts walking down with them. That is what I've been told. We saw him walking with them, and we heard him saying, they're going to get you for that, Maddie. What did Maddie do? What did Maddie tell Adam? What could it have been? Was it something about Katie? Was it something about Hoodie Guy? Could Kaylee have told Adam? Or could Kaylee have told Maddie that Hoodie Guy is bothering me, and Maddie went and told Adam, and Adam got him thrown out? Because let's not forget, Adam is a bartender. He's a student, but he works as a bartender, and he was present that night. Now think, if Hoodie Guy was thrown out, he would have been definitely humiliated, embarrassed, upset, pissed off. That Kaylee got him thrown out and allegedly said that Hoodie Guy wasn't checking up Maddie. I'm sure that's why Maddie was telling him, F you, mister. She must have been telling him, leave my friend alone. We just got you kicked out of the Grub truck. Why are you still tagging on? That's just my opinion. So if Kaylee, may she rest in peace, got him thrown out, we have a motive and we have a target. That's Kaylee on the 3rd floor. It didn't seem like Showalter was on good terms with Maddie. He was actually threatening Maddie. So now I look at it as 2 targets on the 3rd floor. Let's dig deep into Showalter. Let's read this first. So we would like police to tell us what alibi was. What was his alibi? And what did he say? Saying he would be something to move if they could confirm it was solid. Was Hoodie Guy's alibi solid? Nobody would know except the police. And it was said that he gave his alibi over the phone. Now picture this. This is the last person to see Kaylee and Maddie alive. And he should be the first person to be taken in by the FBI. Guys, am I right or wrong? This young lad went to Idaho, and he just got a telephone call. He just got a phone call from the police, and he explained where he was, what happened, what he saw, what he didn't see. Because obviously he's going to say, I drove 5.5 hours. Now pay attention. Hoodie Guy is one person that the Congalvis believe that is alibi isn't solid. Steve have always said that without mentioning his name.
We obtained a copy of Twitch video, and family members of the Gonsalves family were able to identify Maddie and Kaylee in those videos at a food truck ordering food. Is the police department, our investigators, aware of that video, and has it helped put together that timeline?
We are aware of that video, and it has helped. It gives us a time and space where we know that two of our victims were, and that helps us a ton, and we'll continue to follow up all leads that we can and continue to gather those.
Chief Fry says that they are aware of the Grub truck video, Twitch video, and his investigators are looking into it. Now, I find that to be strange because I'm not an investigator. I'm a mental health counselor. Many of the YouTubers are not investigators either. We are just YouTube creators. How come we found so much at the Grub truck? Chief Fry, how did I manage to find so much at the Grub truck? The people at the Grub truck are carrying. Sir, they're carrying. Aren't you all working on that? Or you all too focused on Beaky? The Grub truck is where people were yelling Xana and Ethan's name. And as you all remember, that was the first thing that I exposed in my channel. And Saeed was right after that. Jovito and the Grub truck yelling Xana was exposed by me over a year and a half ago. Is Chief Fry trying to tell us that the Grub truck Twitch video is on point? That there's nothing to see? Sir, you had Showalter go to Boise, Idaho. Did you send the FBI after him? He could have taken the weapon with him. He's a master in hunting, wrestling, junior wrestling. He's a sportsman, and so he had a lot of rage. Katie got him kicked out of the corner club, and Ethan got him kicked out of Delta Tau Delt Frats. If he was kicked out of the frats and he was kicked out of the corner club, I don't think there's many places Showalter can go, because those are the two places people socialize every day. So how can the chief say the Grub truck is fine? We are investigating it. It's been 2 years. What did you all find? Do you all watch social media? I wish you all did, because you will see how much has been exposed at the band field especially. Chief Fry, what is Saeed watching? What is Jovito watching? Why are the crowd yelling Xana?
It has helped. It gives us a time and space where we know that two of our victims were, and that helps us a ton, and we'll continue to follow up all leads that we can and continue to gather those.
Any indication of a party at the home that night?
This will be the last one. Okay, I understand. Not that we know of. Not at the home. We know that the other. Let me get the names exactly right here. We know that Xana and Ethan were at a different party on campus. But mine will still help us if other people know about that.
Thank you.
The chief did not even remember Xana and Ethan's name. Isn't that strange? And this was the second press conference. You should know the victim's name by heart. May they rest in peace. That was an interesting question. Was there a party there that night? I've always asked myself that question. Was there a party the night before? Because the kitchen looks like it hasn't been cleared or cleaned. There's a lot of bottles, red cups, red plastic cups lying around. And especially in the living room, it looks like, I've always said that, there's an alcohol beverage glass bottle that is almost empty, and there is plastic cups and a bowl, a big bowl where you can put in popcorn or something, were lying on the table. And I've always said that I believe Ethan was found at the corridor. But then we have Walt's obsession, I believe, who kept on insisting that her sources, and the sources, believe me, is Hunter, who should be suspect number 1, told her that Ethan was not found in the corridor. But guess what? Ethan was actually found in the corridor. Because all you need to do is observe. Just watch, observe, you'll see. If you all pay attention to the forensic team, they are taking pictures of the corridor and Xana's room. What happened in the corridor? And I believe Ashley Banfield in this one, her sources showed her that Ethan was found at the corridor. So it makes me believe that the couple was sitting in the living room, possibly, maybe with some friends, 1 or 2 friends, or they were sitting and chilling, and I personally believe that somebody came from the first floor. They didn't see it coming. I don't believe somebody walked into the sliding door. I believe there was many suspects. Some were already waiting inside the house, hiding at the first floor. Guys, this is just my speculations and theories. Why didn't they change the timelines? Kaylee and Maddie came home at 1:56. Ethan and Xana were at the fraternity party right up to 2:20. Because Ethan texted his friend at 2:10 to 2:15. He said he was at the Sigma Chi fraternity party. Now look how badly, I hate to say, this investigation was handled. This is a couple of days after the brutal quadruples happened. You can see the garbage lying on the floor. What if it has fingerprints? What if it has something else? Something connected to this case. They didn't even open it. Why didn't Showalter order food? And if he was kicked out of the corner club, why was he still following Maddie and Kaylee? Trigger warning, guys. Most of y'all have seen this picture of John Jack Rogers Showalter Jr. He was 16 years old. Pay attention to the K bars on the floor. This is one of his K bars, and there's another one on the floor. So he is a hunter. He has K-bars. He's been called by the neighbors for disturbing the peace and for fighting. He got a misdemeanor for it 3 months ago. I wonder what his criminal record is like. Was that the first time he was harassing his neighbors? This man is really important because now look at it in the psychological perspective. We have a young man who seems to have a lot of rage, a young man who got kicked out of his frat, Delta Tau Delta, right before the unalivings. He got kicked out of the corner club due to harassments. Kaylee got him kicked out allegedly. And Ethan got him kicked out of his frat. So now, pay attention. This is what I am starting to believe. Kaylee equals one victim on the 3rd floor. Motive? He must have probably liked her. She got him kicked out of the out of the corner club. He could have actually been the stalker, in my opinion. So Showalter was raging. He was in a rage. He got kicked out of his frats. That is what these college students live for. Frats, sororities, Greek-style life. But my mate here got kicked out. And then he got kicked out of the corner club, right in front of Adam. Or maybe he got kicked out by Adam, Jack D, and all his friends and people he knows. So if Ethan got him kicked out of the frats, that equals to another target, another motive on the 2nd floor. Kaylee, upstairs on the 3rd floor. Steve said, they didn't have to go upstairs. Stop playing. I want someone to be an alpha. Do y'all remember that? But Steve may have not realized there's one motive and target upstairs, 3rd floor, and one on the 2nd floor. That makes a lot of sense. When you have a young teenager who has a lot of rage, anger, probably ADHD, or many other things, in my personal, humble opinion, I would have advised the parent to take them to therapy and not hunting. Take him to boxing, actually, karate, some kind of discipline sports. Hunting and wrestling? He was a junior champion wrestler. Imagine the rage this man could take out. He knows how to use K-bars. Let's not forget, Brian Christopher Koberger isn't a hunter. He isn't a wrestler. He isn't an axe thrower. I always advise people, observe. There's a lot to see. Pay attention to what Katie's doing. She's taking a picture of the group behind her. That should be a red flag. She ain't taking a picture of herself. Because Kaylee has a phone device way above her. More like the height of Showalter and the guys. Now pay attention to what Showalter's doing. Let's zoom in. He's hiding himself from the camera. He was doing that the whole night. This is a very eerie, creepy picture to look at. Sometimes you wish not only that certain things like this didn't happen, you wish you were there at the moment and you could have literally snatched the person away from the situation. I wish I could just go and get Kaylee out of there. Kaylee was crying for help. Kaylee was trying to say, check my mobile, check my phone device if anything happens to me. These people in the Grub truck surrounded us. We were under surveillance. I don't know how the FBI and the detectives didn't clock on that. Or is it all being brushed, swept under the carpet? Give these people their justice. Give them the correct justice. And Koberger deserves his justice. If he's guilty, so be it. If he's innocent, you'll need to let him know. This isn't fair. There's a reason the man is saying, I will be exonerated. Unless he suffers from some kind of mental health illnesses and he has delusions and has hallucinations, just like somebody who's having a psychosis episode from bipolar, schizophrenia, etc. Unless BK isn't in his sane mind, why would BK say, I will be exonerated? And Miss Bethany Funk has exculpatory evidence. Maybe he passed by that way and he saw, example, Bethany running and yelling. And maybe she saw him driving. Maybe that's exculpatory evidence she has. Showalter, you actually left town, and it was said you left to Kenya later. I don't know about the Kenya and South Africa part, but yeah, you did go to Boise, Idaho. You have K-bars. You're a professional wrestler. And you're a professional hunter. And you're the neighbor of the girls next door. I heard you jumped into a red car. Could that red car be the red car in St. Deacon's Avenue? This is why I ask myself, was there a party that night? Pay attention to all the things on the table. The glass bottle is more on the side. Unless they took it down, but there was a glass bottle always there. Pay attention to where the forensic team are taking pictures. It's the corridor near the toilet. So I do actually believe Ashley Banfield and not Watts Obsession, who's getting information from Hunter and the frats that should have already been under investigation. It annoys me when people start talking and working with people who could actually be guilty in this case. Why did they choose Hunter Johnson above all people? Why didn't they call the police? Isn't it safest to call the police? These are not 5-year-olds and 10 years old. These are 20 and 22, 21-year-old students who know. Call 911. 911 doesn't call on purpose because this was all planned, in my opinion. So what's obsession said that Hunter said that Ethan was found in his room. I don't believe that. Observation helps. Observation is very important. Why would I believe somebody who's getting sources from the guilty suspects, in my opinion? And why wouldn't I believe a mainstream news reporter like Ashley Banfield, who's been around over 20 years? I'm not saying she's the best, but what I'm saying, the mainstream news is sources. Ashley's sources told her something happened in the corridor. Ethan was found in the corridor. So pay attention. If Ethan was found in the corridor, it doesn't make sense. Then they didn't need to call Hunter to open the door. Boom. Now explain that. What's obsession? What's the obsession? Sorry. Explain that. If Ethan was found in the corridor, why didn't they call 911? Why did they say they couldn't open the door? These people tampered around with the bodies. They tampered around with the evidence. They tampered around with the whole crime scene. And they could have planted the knife sheath there. Or had BK's DNA on there. Or BK could be working with them. It's one of those three. You see the forensics person. See, they've gone inside. Then they're at the corridor. You see, they're taking pictures of the corridor and toilet. Something happened at the corridor towards the toilet. She's looking down at the corridor. There are two of them. I wonder if Ethan was in the toilet and when he came out, somebody could have taken him from behind, slit his throat. I hate to say that, trigger warning, because that was another thing Ashley Banfield said, that her sources told her that Ethan, his throat was slit. It makes sense if somebody was already waiting for them inside the house. Because they wouldn't have seen it coming if the suspects came from the first floor. It should have really made sense. They could have been waiting. Some of them could have been waiting inside the house. Now, I always come back to this picture of Kaylee in the sitting position, allegedly, and the person in the white mask. Pay attention to the person in the white mask. If you pay attention, I wonder if that is actually John Showalter. Allegedly. Pay attention to the person has on a white hoodie. The white layer you see on his head is a hoodie. Chief Fry said there's nothing to see at the Grub truck or Banfield. If he's not carrying a machete, I need to get new glasses. That's all I can say. In UK, we say these people are packed, they're carrying. It's very easy to see when somebody's carrying, even a keba. Or even a long machete. He has a belt for a reason. We watch in London. We watch a lot of things on our way to work, on our way back from work, because our youngins carry a lot of weapons. Obviously, they try to avoid GUNs, but they carry a lot of 11, 12, 15, 22 inches. It's a known fact. So we've seen police stopping them, stop and search and arresting them, busting them. And you'll see the policeman literally taking out a 15-inch or 12-inch. Either from the jackets, either from their pants. And look at this guy. He's not only carrying in his pants under the belt, he does actually have things in his white jumper, because that's not his size. The one in front of him that I thought was David Lodge, which allegedly isn't. Look at his black jacket, the one with the yellow. He's carrying a lot too. Hoodie guy nodded his head to these three when he came in. And he nodded his head at the two that my sources say are Hanackley's brother and brother's friend. And that source happens to be Hanackley's brother, allegedly. Her real brother that grew up with her says it's the half-brother from an IVR. So take this with a pinch of salt. It could be true or it could be very false. But the more I research into the Grub truck, the more I believe it's true. I've heard from the very beginning that Hanackley's brother came to take revenge. And he was driving a 2017 white Hyundai Elantra. Y'all remember, his friend threw the food in the bin. And his friend came with a white Hyundai Elantra, and he left with the white Hyundai Elantra. And there was a white Hyundai Elantra roaming around the Grub truck, at least for a good 35 minutes. He kept on coming up and down, parking. It could have been a different car, but it looked like a similar car. And when I pay attention to the people who could have got off the car because they walked into the Grub truck, it was the guy who looks like Hanackley and his friend. Those two guys were nodding their heads at these three. And hoodie guy was nodding his head at these three. So at least those 6 people I have my eye on. And I've had my eyes on them long time. And the fact that I'm watching this young man carrying is annoying me. The fact that I'm watching Saeed, watching all these pictures, is mind-blowing. The Grub truck and the Banfield should have been immediately put in evidence. But thank y'all for releasing it. Look at both these guys' pants. This one who's wearing his jacket Oh, he has a belt. He proved himself. He's carrying it with a belt. Look at how long. Talking about large knives and sharp objects that were used in the quadruples. And look at these people. People have fallen, is what the Grub track guy said. People have fallen. And then he tells the customer, no, sorry, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the Twitch live. And I believe me, he meant that the couple were deleted. Zan and Ethan. People have fallen. The manager needs to be checked into. I wanted to end this clip by showing y'all how Showalter looked that night. John Jack Showalter or John Jack Roger Showalter? Let's zoom into his face. Please explain to me why this man's face was like that night. Y'all see the cut on his face? Chief Fry? Want to explain? Why did he go to Boise, Idaho? Did he get a cut on his face? Did he come back for revenge? Did Hoodie Guy call people to help him? Very possible. Let's not forget, he didn't have much to lose. He got kicked out of his flats, got kicked out of the corner club, and I'm sure he was having issues at home. This isn't normal. I ain't a doctor. Any doctors here? Any eye doctor? Face doctor? Nerve doctors? Please leave me a comment. Any officers? Any detectives? I would love to know if I'm imagining, because this is from the original Grub truck video. It's blurry because I'm recording it from the original. You can go and check it out yourself, guys. When you see Showalter at the Grub truck, please zoom into his face. Hoodie Guy, is that why Kaylee was taking pictures of you? Kaylee got you kicked out of the corner club. And E got you kicked out of the flats. Were you harassing Xana? Why did E get you kicked out? And what happened to your eye? You can barely open it. Is that why you were hiding from the camera? Why didn't you order food? Were you not hungry? Oh my God, that is actually a cut. Poor boy, what happened to you? He can barely open his eye. Let me check. This is a better angle. He has a cut on his eye. From his head to his eye. Did you get it that night or the night before? Is that what Maddie told Adam? Did they speak about you? Did that upset you? And I'll end with this final note. His face is a problem because it's been cut. I would love to know what happened. And the biggest issue I have is, what do you have in your jacket? What are you carrying? This is bigger than a K-bar, but then you're a hunter, you would have all kind of weapons. What is this man carrying? He's injured. His eye is cut. Or his face is cut on one side, the right-hand side, and he's carrying something. He didn't order food. Professional hunter. Professional junior wrestler. Pay attention, he can only open one eye. Like a pirate. What happened? Hoodie Guy? Even his lips doesn't look right. It's like The whole side of his face, the right side, has been cut and it's bothering him. This isn't any editing, guys. You can zoom in yourself. The Grub truck and Banfield is 2 clips or 2 videos I never give up on. I know at times, guys, it's annoying and you'll think, there goes Huda with another Grub truck or Banfield. There's a reason. There's a reason I observe these. And I'm still not done analyzing them. Because it's like a gift that never stops giving. This guy is carrying. And this guy has a cut face. This guy was thrown allegedly out of the corner club. He was thrown out of his flats allegedly. And the girls ditched him. They left him dry. They left him hanging at the Grub truck. You saw how he stormed out. He threw up his hand. Like, how dare do they go away from me? He could have easily climbed up even to the 2nd floor. Don't underestimate Hoodie guy. He's a professional wrestler. He's a professional hunter. He's a sportsman. I think he was out for revenge. The 2 targets was Kaylee from the 3rd floor and Ethan from the 2nd floor. Kaylee got him kicked out of the corner club. And he got him kicked out of the flats. That's why his parents rented him a flat in Queens Road, right next to 1122 Kings Road. Maybe he didn't want to have issues with Jack D, so that's why he could have let Murphy live. What is he carrying? What happened to Isaiah? Guys, let me know in the comments. I believe he is working with other people at the Grub truck. He's busy nodding his head to certain people. Please like, share, and subscribe. Have a lovely week. To my favorite subscribers, to all my subscribers, to all my viewers. Thank you for taking time on my video.